I always wanted to be more beautiful, and deep down, probably I thought that if I was just beautiful enough, I would be finally safe and finally seen and finally valued. And the thing is that the more I chased this beauty or this idea of beauty that was put in my head, and the more invisible I felt. So in this first video, I want to talk to you about my relationship with beauty and what I actually discovered when I started to glow up. And you will definitely relate if you ever felt not beautiful enough or even not allowed to want to be more beautiful. So for most of my life, I didn't feel beautiful, and honestly, I was not really beautiful. Day after day, I was looking in the mirror and wondering why this version of myself or this image that I was seeing in the mirror didn't feel like me at all. I was maybe puffy, maybe pale, maybe I don't know. I could not point to one thing that I didn't like about myself especially, but it was just a general feeling and general harmony maybe. And even 6 years ago, when I started discovering meditation and I started the inner work on myself, and then even later I became a coach, it shined a little through me. Of course, I gained some confidence. I started my business. I started making a little money. It showed little. It started to shine through me a little. It helped a little. But globally, in general, I was still feeling the same inside. I was feeling like I'm not beautiful enough. I'm ugly. I'm not enough. I'm not lovable. And as long as other people don't seem to notice too much, I will be okay. So I was like in a hiding position, like let's just hide enough so that other people don't notice, and that as long as I can date the kind of guy that I want to date, or have the opportunity that I want to have, or find the clients that I want to find, I will pretend that this problem doesn't exist in my life. And then so many things happened that kept me occupied. I moved to Serbia. I started meditation studio there. I met some people. I started my business. I met my Turkish boyfriend, who became after that my husband. I moved to Istanbul in Turkey. I wrote a book and published a poetry book. I moved again in Germany with my husband, where we live now. So fast forward all of this, like I'm still feeling the same inside, but I'm still living my life and trying to realize my dreams and all of that. And I need to say, it was not like a lack of confidence or a lack of self-love. It was just that I trusted my aesthetic eye enough. Like, I didn't mention it, but I was actually a chemist engineer before, and after that I became a wedding photographer for several years. And I trusted my aesthetic eye enough to believe myself when I was looking at myself and saying that this is not beauty for me. This is not what beauty feels like or look like for me. And it might sound harsh to say it, but truly in that moment I was right. I was not beautiful. I was not embodying beauty. It was not the fact that I was liking something to be beautiful. It was just the fact that I was not embodying the beauty and embodying my true self. In 2024, I got married, and the photos turned out to be okay because my photographer was my friend. She took them, like, she arranged the light and the angles to make them look good. I was also having a hairstylist, a makeup artist. I was having designer clothes. I mean, of course, it looked good, and there was times in my life before that where I felt that I look good that day, or this is a good angle of me. But globally, my soul knows that this is not me. I mean, tonight I will remove my makeup and my clothes and my hair, and what will remain? It was not like beauty for me. It was more like wearing a mask. And then at the end of that same year, 2024, we had our first Christmas together as a married couple, and we wanted to send some photos to our families because we could not celebrate with our families. And we booked a photo shoot with a photographer here in Germany. And boy, the photos ended up being horrible, and especially me, I was like seeing myself for the first time like the worst of myself. My double chin was over existing on every pictures, and I was pale, and really like the color of my skin is out of this world. I'm so pale, I'm so out of my natural color. I'm like yellow literally, and globally I was like puffy and horrible. I could not choose one picture to send to my family. We ended up sending no picture at all. And something happened inside of me in that moment where I was like, enough. Like, I don't know who this person is, I don't know who this image is, but it's definitely not me. I cannot accept that. And it was not out of love, out of lack of love for myself. It was really like out of love. It was really like I love myself too much. I don't know myself, but I know enough to know that this is not me. I want to believe what I feel inside of me, and this is not the representation of what I feel. It was out of love for myself. But we are so much told that love should look always like a acceptance, and we don't dare to refuse some things. We don't dare to refuse having 10 more kilos than necessary. We don't dare to refuse having a double chin. What the fuck? Am I born with a double chin? No, I'm not born with that. Why? At what point I need to accept? At what point this is me? At what point I need to identify with a double chin? And I was like, F it, really like F it. I want to change myself. I want to change my face. I want to become beautiful, like not in a way like become someone else or change my face to look like someone else, but I want to look in the mirror and feel like me. I want to look at photos that people take of me and feel like me. I don't want to see a stranger every time I look at a photo of myself or I look at myself in the mirror. It's horrible. I mean, it makes me in a victim mindset even, because every time I look at myself, every time I have an image of myself, because I can never look at myself. That's the thing with beauty, that we can never in that life look at ourselves. We will always have images of ourselves through a mirror, through a camera, through a video, through a photo, through other people's eyes, but we will never be able to look at ourselves. So I wanted the image of myself to look like me. I was like, F it, I will not identify with this. I will not identify myself with this image. This is just the image. This is not me. And I started like refusing this image. And anyone who is listening to me right now with some stereotypical idea of what self-love should look like would be like, she needs more self-love, she needs more confidence. No, I was a very confident person already. I was a very confident person. I had my business, I was making money, I was having my husband, I was having everything. I was a very confident person. I was a very loving person to myself. I was pushing myself forward. I was trying to do the good things for myself. I was trying to feed myself with love and I was loving myself. I was making food just for myself. I was taking time just for myself. I was loving myself and I was confident. Of course, you can always improve those two things, love for yourself and confidence in yourself, but I was already a confident and loving person to myself. What I liked was not that. I liked the strength in myself to say like, this is not me. I am able to not identify with that. I am able to decide who I want to create. And I even decide that self-love to me from that moment was the ability to refuse the things that I didn't like and to have the confidence to not like what I don't like. Like, I don't like mint and chocolate together. I don't like people who chew strongly in public. I feel like all of this is coming to my face. I don't like that. I don't like the bad weather, and I don't like the strawberry aroma, and there is a lot of things that I don't like, and why the double chin cannot be one of them. I don't like double chin. I think it's just not aesthetic to have something under your chin. I think it's just not aesthetic. I don't like it, and I'm allowed to not like it. It doesn't say anything about me. It doesn't say anything about my confidence or my self-love. I just don't like it. And it was a big turning point for me because I started learning about fascia therapy in that moment, because I really wanted something that will transform my face in a way that I can come back to myself. And I knew that surgeries or procedures like this, first, I don't have the money for these kind of things, and also I knew that it would change me in a way that would not be recognizable for my soul. It would just be someone else, someone pretty, but someone else pretty. And I started doing fascia therapy. I started doing it on my face, and I started to practice on me what I was learning about fascia therapy, and my face did change like really fast, very fast in the first weeks, and very much. I mean, it gave beautiful and amazing results. But two problems also happened. That the first one was that with the fascia therapy, I released and liberated some traumas that I had stuck in my face. Like literally, there was some trauma, memories, emotions, experiences stuck in my face, like literally. And I started releasing that, and it started to come up to the surface, and it was really hard to process. I understood in that moment that beauty is not so much about skincare or nutrition, even though those two things are so important in someone's life, but beauty is so much more than that, because it was about my life story and my memories and my identity. And there is no amount of broccoli or specific creams that will remove your mom trying to abort you and you fighting for your life before you're even born. There is no amount of carrots or soups that will remove the fact that your dad abandoned you and looked at you with disgust and never believed that you were his daughter, and is still to this day convinced that your mom cheated on him because there is no way he could make a baby that's ugly. You know, there is no amount of broccoli or creams that can remove all of this, if not your decision to change your identity and your life story. I spent years being silently humiliated and beaten, made to feel worthless and obedient, and there was no amount of skincare or nutrition that could heal that. I had learned to make myself invisible, to make myself disappear into a version of myself who would not get hurt. And through facial massages, through facial release, fascia therapy, I liberated all of this, but it came up to the surface, and it was a hard realization, and it was a full process also on the side of just massaging my face. But I was done abandoning myself, and I realized this is coming up to the surface not to hurt you even more, it's just coming up to the surface to live for good once and for all. And so I liberated it, but it took some consciousness from my part to liberate that with the facial massage and transformation of my face. So my face did change, but first it was not so enjoyable in the first moments, and second was the fact that it was not durable, like it didn't stick. I was continuously coming back to my old self. So it was not a straight line where I was just doing fascia therapy for 3 weeks and after that I changed and I became beautiful and end of the story, the end. No, it was months doing back and forth with my old self, finding myself binge eating again, finding myself having a bad skin or puffy face in the morning again, finding myself back in the shoes of my old self and wondering why I cannot change for good, why I cannot finally become the version of me that is really me and that I want to activate and embody. And I had to realize that fascia therapy is amazing and it works, but if I want to keep those results, if I want to really become that person that I'm transforming into, I need way more than just facial massage. I need a self-identity switch. And this is when I started mixing my own energy work that I was already doing with fascia therapy and with my self-identity switch. And this is when the biggest result appeared and that I really changed for good. thing is, you cannot just change the reflection or the mirror, even though it might work for a minute. If you change a mirror, you can find a better mirror where you look better, but as soon as you will look at yourself in another mirror, you will see the old self, which is not old at this point, it's just the self. It's just that you were not, you were like pretending or hiding behind like a specific mirror. But you cannot just change the mirror, you need to really change what the mirror is reflecting. And that's really where I switched to just doing physiotherapy and wondering why it's not working, and then doing the energy work and physiotherapy. And maybe someone is looking at me right now and thinking, she's not that dope, she's not that pretty, she's not that beautiful, who does she think she is? But you know what, there is something that happens inside of you when you see your double chin disappearing, when you see your puffiness disappearing, when you see your true colors from your face reappearing, where you see all of this fading and changing, and you see it day by day. I mean, it's not like years, it's really day by day. There is something happening inside of you. Even chronic pain that I had in my neck and shoulders disappeared. I mean, it was incredible. And in the end, you realize it's not looking perfect who will make you really feel deeply beautiful. That's why you see so many girls who are so perfectly looking, but they don't feel beautiful inside. It's not even looking like what society expects of you to look like, what society expects you to look like, who will make you feel beautiful. It's not even to change yourself into becoming someone else that you feel is more beautiful. None of that will make you feel more beautiful. The one thing that really make you feel beautiful is to looking the best that you can look as you. The best that you can look as you. And this is why I feel beautiful, even though maybe some of you don't think that I am beautiful, but it doesn't matter. I feel beautiful because I'm starting to look the best that I can look as me. And when I see myself in a mirror or in a photo, I recognize myself. And this is what makes me feel so beautiful. Of course, I still have some moments where I feel horrible and I have my period and my energy is down and I dressed like shit because I didn't have the energy to dress up or whatever, and I feel like shit, and it's okay. But really, at 33 today, I can say that this is the first time in my life that I can actually say that I feel beautiful. And it's so much more powerful than what we can think. And this is really what I learned also. It's so much more powerful than what we think, to just being able to think of yourself like this. I actually started to treat myself differently, not like a problem to fix anymore, but just like a person that I really want to care about, a person that I really want to take care of, not with force, not with punishment anymore, but really with love and care and self-devotion. I think for me, self-devotion is way more relatable than self-love, because self-love is like, love is good, but I can love myself in the same toxic ways, like I've always been loved, and I cannot recognize that I'm loving myself in the wrong way. But self-devotion is like devoting yourself to yourself. It's so beautiful and it cannot be wrong anytime. I mean, I love this notion. So really, I learned self-devotion. I learned self-devotion with fascia therapy and this energy work on my identity and rethink the old pattern and the old self, and it was amazing. And in the end, yes, I always wanted to be beautiful or to feel beautiful, but I never thought that I will discover so much power and so much behind it. So I never thought it was so deep, actually, to be honest. I just wanted to be beautiful, but I never really looked at it like something, like a desire, like something deep inside of me, like a recognition to something I really desire. I never thought that I would discover so much faith, so much love, so much alignment, so much freedom behind this superficial topic of beauty. But I did really find myself through that, and that's why I'm starting this YouTube channel, because I feel like it's a more common topic than we actually know, and also because I never felt a space where I was allowed to say that yes, I desire to be more beautiful. You know what? Yes, I want to be more beautiful. I always felt ashamed of that desire for some reason. And the only places where you are allowed to say that, or where they teach you like to be beautiful, they teach you with makeup and clothes and always hiding yourself and not revealing yourself. And it's like this constant chase of trying to become something that you're not, constantly buying or adjusting or fixing or adapting or forcing. I want beauty to be like a freedom. I don't want it to enslave me. I want this to be the freedom to be me, the freedom to be free even from those constant thoughts in our heads that have been put there, that you are not enough, you should do better, you should be better, you should look better. And today I'm continuing my path through beauty because I love it, I just love it. It's both transformative and both like a pleasurable experience, and we never learn that transformation can be pleasurable. We always learn that we need to transform into the pain and the sadness and the bad experiences, but I think pleasure and beauty and faith can transform us so much more if we allow them. And today my definition of becoming more beautiful is just that I'm allowing myself to become who I was destined to become before the world told me who to be. This is really my motto, like my mantra. Like, I want to become more beautiful because I want to become the version of myself that I was destined to become if no one ever told me who I should be. This is really for me my most beautiful self is a person who is embodying this 100%. Because if I don't create a new definition for myself, society will always make me choose between fake beauty or self-love and constant acceptance, and none of them are good enough for me. I don't want to constantly accept a version of myself that is not me. I don't want to constantly accept my defaults and my wrongs, and I don't want to constantly accept and be positive about my overweight or my double chin. I don't want that. It's not, I know it was needed in our society because we constantly pushed in the other direction of perfection. But this is what I'm saying, like, we are always pushed to choose between perfection and fakeness and self-acceptance, positivity, constant acceptance, and none of them are okay for me. I don't want to fake because it doesn't make me feel good inside, like surgery or constant makeup and constant trying to curate a style or something. It doesn't make me feel good inside. But constant positivity also doesn't make me feel good. I don't want to be positive about my double chin. I don't want to be positive about the things that are not me. I don't want to identify with them. So if you feel ugly or invisible, if you've tried to love yourself no matter what, and if you've tried the creams and the diets and all of that, but nothing seems to be working and you always feel the same inside, like you are not good enough, you are ugly, you will never be as good as other girls that you see around you, I want to invite you into this journey with me because I feel it's so needed to remember that beauty is not something that we chase, it's something that we remember that we already are. It's something that we can return to anytime. It's an invitation. You are not ugly, you are not broken, you don't lack anything. You are just called to free yourself. You are called to see the illusion and get out of it. Come back home to who you really are. Babe, you got this. See you in the next one.